not your average Disney nerd. Happy New Year! It's 2018! So I decided for 2018 I'm going to do a spin-off of Let's Talk Disney, and I'm going to title it Let's Talk Disney History, because we are going to talk about the history of the theme parks, attractions inside the theme parks, facts, and other abandoned secrets. So today I'm actually going to talk to you about Alien Encounter! Extraterrestrial alien encounter, emphasis on the terror. Let's see. Okay, so this was supposed to be a Halloween episode that I was going to do, but because of lack of time and it's kicking off like the holidays, I had no time to do this project and I wanted to go all out for this. So I'm gonna do this as a 2018. I'm gonna do this as my first video for my Disney history section. This is gonna be one out of many, because I'm definitely planning on doing more, especially since there's like so many like abandoned secrets and stuff that I find fascinating, and I'm sure my fellow on average Disney nerds also find pretty interesting. So to start this video, we do need to do some time traveling and go all the way back to the 80s. So let's go to the 80s.
Florida with a television special that's out of this world. Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, head of the Walt Disney Company. In a top-secret military installation somewhere in the United States, there are those who believe that the government is hiding the remains of an alien spacecraft that mysteriously crashed to Earth. With more and more scientific evidence of alien encounters and UFO sightings, the idea of creatures from another planet might not be as far-fetched as we once thought. In fact, one of you out there could have the next alien encounter. Enjoy tonight's special. I'm going to walk over and see if I can sneak a peek. Maybe not.
Oh, great. The human turd. As one of many Disney fans, I'm not exactly fond of him. I'm not fond with you either. Get back in your corner. Once becoming CEO of the Disney Company, just after his run with Paramount, Eisner toured the parks and met up with Imagineers to learn ideas and upcoming projects. Well, you see, while touring and getting the feel for the parks, Eisner took along his son, who at the time was a teenager. And his son basically thought that Disney was childish and totally lame. So Michael Eisner thought of adding more thrilling attractions. Once Star Tours opened in Disneyland, it was a huge hit. The snowball of rides based on movies started to take effect, as you can probably see today. In 1987, though, he started to play along with the idea of a ride based off Alien, the sci-fi horror film by 20th Century Fox. One minute, please. Thank you. Anyways, at first the attraction was going to be a shooter ride, kind of like...
For the seas. Power-hungry robots are CERN's first line of defense. Neutralize them with your laser cannons.
You do realize? But with the characters from the 1979 Alien. Senior Imagineers didn't like this idea and quickly talked him out of it. One being that the movie was rated R, two, it wasn't very Disney-like. So the project was left for dead until some young wide-eyed Imagineers decided to resurrect the plan with a few changes of their own.
The new Tomorrowland is filled with countless amazing adventures. Here, you'll rocket to the edges of the galaxy and strap yourself into the thrill of the millennium, Space Mountain. Then, hop aboard a time machine and travel 1,000,000 years through the ages. And you'll come face to face with your worst nightmare at Alien Encounter.
Tomorrowland, the land of the future. The land that was always changing and was in need of a new attraction. Well, Walt Disney's idea of the future was this bright and positive one. Eisner's picture of the future was the complete opposite of a great big beautiful tomorrow. While it was for Disneyland, Magic Kingdom and Disney World got more of a sci-fi look, working with science and fantasy, the whole idea of like living on the moon and stuff you'd see on the Sci-Fi Network. So that way it wasn't much of a hassle, keeping up with it and everything. And the idea came from Euro Disneyland, now called Disneyland Paris. They don't have a Tomorrowland, they have a Discoveryland, which is a steampunk style, allowing it to never look dated. So, for Disneyland, the Tomorrowland that was dated, they needed a new idea. So they were going to get this thing called Tomorrowland 2055, and that never saw the light of day. Scrapping the idea of guests having to shoot at the Xenomorph aboard the Nostromo, the new Imagineers thought it would be better and cheaper to replace Mission to Mars, an attraction that was totally outdated. So with the new plan, a well-known franchise, Michael Eisner was finally getting what he wanted. Until the senior Imagineers went to George Lucas and asked him to talk Eisner out of this whole project. Now, Lucas had just finished with Star Tours. He was working on the stunt show with Indiana Jones. He already had some pretty good ties with Disney so far. We all know Captain EO, which is still like the highest film made ever. Seriously, how much did they spend on that? Okay, I digress. So Lucas went to speak to Eisner, and through some odd twists and turns, George ended up being roped into the Alien project as executive producer. However, he was able to get Eisner to drop the franchise. So, of course, the freshman Imagineers had to go back to square one. Only this time, they needed to write and design a story of their own. So, they had the whole idea of, the attraction and everything. Everything was still good. The only thing that they needed to change was the alien, the main attraction. So they had to create a whole new story, whole new characters, whole new monster, everything. And thus, extraterrestrial alien encounter was born.
Scott, the Magic Kingdom has a whole new land for you to visit. It's the all-new Tomorrowland. Hold on to your seat as Scott gets set for a chilling visit with an extraterrestrial.
Fear not, people of the future. We are simply visitors from your past. We are friendly, hi. And we come looking for scary attractions. We do. Well, here we are at the terrifying new alien encounter where they're going to be transporting a live alien creature right into the same room with us. Try to contain your enthusiasm. Are you guys scared? No. There's no reason. It's the future. It's science. Let's go. Come on. We've all had our shots. I'll guard the exit. I'm right behind you. I know you're all a little nervous, but I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. No! It's all right. So, just this is part of the chair. Hopefully.
The ride had a soft opening on December 16th, 1994, replacing Mission to Mars, but was ordered to close on January 12th, 1995 for some tinkering. There was a total of 4 versions of this ride. The first one was a George Lucas version, which XS Tech brings the alien in on purpose to see its destructive capabilities by using a captive audience as guinea pigs. The alien then reveals itself to be a pretty intelligent captive, breaks the guests out of the testing facility before the scientists are trying to gas the whole theater. The exit would have a feature of sounds of the alien killing off the scientists. So basically, it was supposed to be like a lot scarier, but the alien was a lot nicer. So there was like a happy ending for us, not for those scientists. They did keep like a few a few of the elements, I would say, for the ride, for like the final version, like excess tech, bringing the alien in, kind of captive audience. I mean, you're sitting in a chair with a harness and it hurts your friggin' shoulders. Can I just say that? Like, while I never read an Alien Encounter, I still, like, I know, yeah, I'll get to that later, but those chairs friggin' hurt. Then we had the soft opening. Now, this version had a nice comedic pre-show with a character named Tom, voiced by Phil Hartman. Later he ends up getting replaced with Tim Curry's character called Sir, and the pre-show becomes much more darker. See, Tom was this nice, friendly robot who is going to show you the benefits of excess tech, the whole, like, teleportation. Of course, anyone that looks on YouTube or anyone that's actually experienced the ride itself will know that Tom gets kind of concerned when his alien friend Skippy gets charred, whereas Tim Curry's Sir doesn't even give a crap. He doesn't care. He's like, you've got a healthy glow, you know, whatever. So the reason that it went from this nice comedic pre-show to this more dark and sinister one was because parents were ignoring the warning signs. There were like warning signs like posted everywhere, and parents were just ignoring them and saying, let's bring our kid on this attraction. They'll enjoy the show. It's okay. We're at Disney, not knowing what this attraction holds. So that's why in the soft opening, they had a nice comedic version. The ride was apparently, the show, I keep saying ride, but you're not moving or anything. You're strapped to a seat. Anyways, but you're sitting down, strapped to a seat, and all of this scary horror stuff happens to you, and you're thinking to yourself, well, the pre-show was so nice and friendly. Why are we getting this? Of course, parents complain. That's why we have a soft opening. So then they could change things, and that's why they changed from Tom to Sir, who was much more dark, much more sinister. It's Tim Curry, who doesn't like Tim Curry? I mean, he's great. Like, what 90s kid? What anybody doesn't know Tim Curry? But they were definitely different from the 1994 version to the final cut in 1995. So when it boils down to it, the difference is, other than like the pre-show, was that the alien was supposed to eat audience members. The maintenance guy, he knew the alien, so he was trying to tell everybody, calm down, you know, are you guys okay? I'm gonna find the switch, I'm gonna turn on the power. He knew that the alien was up here, where in the final version, he didn't know. He still gets killed, but he didn't. But at the very end of the ride, at the very, very end, the alien does finally get sent away. The tube comes down, and Clench, who we'll get to in a minute, is actually trapped in the tube, and he's like banging on the tube, and he's just like, you know, get me out of here. Kind of creepy, because he's like in the tube, and they're ignoring him in the tube. So, but we're gonna get to that in a little bit about him, because he plays like a really big part in everything that I have to say coming up. So, those are just like some of the changes. You got like Tom being changed, you got the maintenance man's knowledge, you've got Clench being in the tube. All of these changes kind of bring us to our final version. Well, not our final, because we still have one more. This is number 3. This is version number 3. This one was opened in 1995. Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter officially opened June 20th, 1995, as part of the Magic Kingdom's New Tomorrowland. As guests enter the attraction, there are TVs playing an intro video. This starred Tyra Banks talking about XS Tech, and introduces you to Jeffrey Jones, who plays the CEO chairman Clench. After the video, you enter the room with Sir. He shows you how the teleportation works, with a rather unlucky volunteer named Skippy. Poor Skippy screams in pain as Sir fills the tube with smoke. Lights flash, and on the other side is a burnt barbecued Skippy. If that didn't freak you out, you were then sent into the main showroom, still using the seating from the previous attraction, Mission to Mars. Now keep in mind, both Magic Kingdom and Disneyland had a Mission to Mars. Both were going to get a new Tomorrowland. Magic Kingdom was the only one with the new Tomorrowland look, as well as this attraction. Back in Disneyland, they just painted everything in copper and green and replaced their Mission to Mars with a red Rockets pizza port. Okay, back to the seating. A few changes were made in the showroom, like a giant teleportation tube in the center of the stage, and a harness with speakers on each side on your chair. The harnesses were to keep people in their seats, as well as give off the 3D sound of everything that went on. Then we entered into the stage room. There were TVs all around. We got that giant tube in the middle there. The teleportation tube, if you will. There's live feed on the TVs of the 2 alien doctors, Dr. Femus and Dr. Spinlock. And as the live feed is going, they're about to pick a guest in the audience to teleport from Earth to where their planet is. This is when Clench walks in. He claims that he has been seized. He has a wonderful new idea. I don't know why I squeaked, sorry. He has a wonderful new idea. He will travel to Earth and meet everybody. Instead of meeting one of us, he wants to meet all of us. And with the unexpected change of events, this kind of caused the teleportation signal to be diverted to an unknown planet, and thus we get our alien. So, yeah. He comes in and he's like, you want to know what? Instead of meeting one person, I want to meet everybody on planet Earth. I want to, like, ask questions for everybody. I want to answer all of their questions. Planet kind of comes in while he's being transported here. So he ends up being transported to the alien's planet, and then that alien, does the alien even have a name? Even research, I don't know if he had a name. It's like Beast, like doesn't have a name. So the alien ends up coming to our planet. He's at the alien's planet. Basically, they're just like, is it him in the tube? I don't know. Send it anyways. We don't know if it's him. It could be him. It could be something else. Send it down anyways to Earth, which they do. So, as a result, a towering winged carnivorous alien, really creepy friggin' thing. Seriously, hello, guy from my nightmares. Yeah, if you're like me, you're gonna have nightmares for a week. More than a week. A little more than a week. A lot longer than a week. Nightmares forever, for the rest of your life. I'm never sleeping again. So this carnivorous alien is ended up in the tube by mistake. Of course, there's chaos and confusion. The creature quickly escapes. First they tell us that it's okay, he can't escape as long as like the power beams are on and everything. So you're thinking, oh great, I'm sitting in these still uncomfortable seats with this really ugly nightmare-inducing creature about to kill everybody, but it's okay because as long as he's in the tube, we are safe. Cue power shortage. He breaks out of the tube. Yeah, now everybody is screaming their heads off. This alien is flying everywhere. And he lands on like the catwalk, of course. Like, so he escapes quickly, lands on the catwalk. We are completely covered in darkness. Flashes of light, shattered glass, an empty teleportation tube, everything. Chaos is just going on everywhere. And so, of course, with like the power outage, they have to come, they're like, okay, let's get the maintenance man in here. So, of course, the maintenance man is on the catwalk, all right? And you can see on the video screen and the visionary screen, apparently the maintenance man is wearing a camera. And they're just like, and he's kind of questioning being up here, you know? He's wondering if everyone's okay, but he's questioning if anyone is like, is there something up on the catwalk with him? And they're telling him, it's okay, just find the switch. He's like, all right. So, of course, on the screen, what pops out at you is this friggin' alien, of course, like, and everything. You get the screaming from the maintenance man. Of course, everyone down below, of course, is screaming. You're screaming. And then, of course, like, they have, like water dripping from, like, the roof, as if, like, from the catwalk, supposed to resemble, like, warm blood, and you can hear, like, the crunching of, like, the maintenance man being eaten, and it's just, like, okay. So, here, attempts to restore power, he ends up getting mauled by the alien, shrieks are happening, they spray fluid, the blood dripping down, warm water, whatever you want to call it, and through this whole thing, you're still screaming your head off, okay? You're trapped with a alien that is about to murder everyone. What a Disney vacation. You are about to get killed by this creepy-ass alien thing. He's got, like he kind of looks like a dragon to me, but scarier. Because when I'm thinking dragon, I'm thinking of, like, Game of Thrones dragon. They look pretty friggin' cool. No, this guy is, like, ugly. He's got, like, 6 legs going on there, or 6 or 7 legs or whatever. He's got this, like, these big, like, he kind of looks like a dragon combined with, like, a bat combined with, like, some type of bug or whatever. He's got these fangs and stuff. He's, like, coming at you. And, yeah, so after he kills the maintenance man, because it doesn't get, like, better from there, you know, you'd think, oh, he killed the maintenance man. It's all good, right? No, it's not good. He ends up still hungry for more, so he lands on you. The alien is on you. The alien is on your back now, and this is where the harnesses play their part, because they've got those dual speakers, so you got this 3D surround and everything going on, and it makes you feel like the alien is literally on you. You can feel him breathing down your neck. He's, like, licking you and everything. They're telling you not to scream, because if you scream, this alien will kill you. So, of course, you're, like, trying not to freak the crap out, and he's, like, bouncing, like, on your chair a little bit, kind of balancing on your back, you know, because he's about to eat you. And you gotta be as quiet as you possibly can, or you will be eaten. Finally, though, the power does end up going on, and the assistance of the 2 excess tech do end up finding a way to drive the alien back into the tube. So what happens is, as the alien is on you, Dr. Femus decides to take the microphone and scream into the microphone, causing the alien to be distracted to go back into the tube. This way, they actually kill off the alien in the end. So you get sprayed with disgusting alien guts as the tube is going down, because they're killing him as the tube is going down. That's great. This whole thing is like a friggin' nightmare, and in the end, you've got alien guts all over you. And so that's basically what happens. They end up killing off the alien. You're getting all covered with alien guts after screaming your head off because you don't want to die. I know some people that follow this ride were not scared. They thought it was the coolest ride ever. But if you are me or like me in any way, you will have nightmares for as long as you friggin' live. Because trust me, even though I never went on the ride, researching this has given me plenty of nightmares. Thanks, Disney. So yeah. The guests are then released from their seats. Of course, now we're in the final version, so as they're telling us that, as you can see, as you can see, they still have some technical difficulties, but, you know, their technology is still good. In the Saw version, this is the part we've got Clench like banging on the thing to let him out and everything. Vinyl version, we don't have him. He's still on that alien planet, by the way. So we saw one of the aliens that are on that planet. We only got one. He's surrounded by like a ton of them. So he's about to get his butt murdered. So that's like the whole thing is they never find their CEO. They never find him. They end up killing off the alien that was trying to kill us. He's still out. The CEO is still out there. And as we're leaving and everything, they're just like, what a way to go. Have a nice tomorrow. Hope you have like a wonderful day. Like nothing happened. They treat it as if nothing happened. As you're, of course, walking out with alien guts on you. Once again, you're covered in alien guts. Okay? You've got like... You're probably like leaving the theater like, oh my god. But yeah. The ride did end up closing for a few reasons. The ride closed on October 12th, 2003. And its closure, there were a few reasons to the closure. Other than it being super terrifying. And we know that they emphasize on the terror. But like I said, parents ignoring the warning signs, they changing the pre-show to something darker. And the pre-show was to like weed out all of the people that were going, you know, if you're going on not knowing anything, this was supposed to like weed out the people that were going to get scared. So then, because Disney got so many complaints from this ride of parents and things and just everything. So if you ignored the warning signs and you did go on this ride and you were scared, you obviously went down to guest services and you complained about the scary ride that is going to give your child nightmares no matter how old your child is, because I'm old enough to be an adult and I'm terrified of images that I found on Google. What is wrong with me? Okay, anyways, so of course Disney, was like, ugh. Obviously, they needed to change the ride. Obviously, it was too scary. And this ride was in Magic Kingdom, the most fantasy place. You don't think of this ride in Magic Kingdom, and I have to agree with other people out on forums. This ride should have been in Hollywood Studios. I think it would have lasted a lot longer if it was. Obviously, it wasn't. It was in Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom. The really, really big reason that a lot of people believe, and I even believe, that they changed this ride. So, Clench is played by Jeffrey Jones. If you know who that is, or if you don't know who that is, here you go. In 2002, a whole year before the ride's closure, he was found in possession of child porn. No wonder he kept chasing Ferris.
Looking for this? I got you, Ferris.
Yeah. And so Disney had a problem on their hands. They couldn't let an attraction that was receiving so many complaints, end up having, I mean, it was receiving complaints, but then on top of all the complaints, you had the main character get arrested for child pornography. A really big no-no in Disney's book, a really big no-no in anybody's book, but Disney especially, because they're family-friendly all over the place. So, having a main character be a sex offender, Disney's like, we gotta close this down. Now, of course, in 2002, we all know what movie came out, so we kinda knew what Disney was gonna do. Goodbye, Alien Encounter.
Here at the Magic Kingdom Park is Stitch's Great Escape, your favorite alien from the Disney animated movie Lilo and Stitch. See? Stitch is taking over the Magic Kingdom, you little troublemaker. It's not the nice, lovable Stitch we all knew down on Earth either. It's the naughty, spitting, burping, boogery, mischievous Experiment 626 version of Stitch. And he's on the loose, and it's your job to watch him. Sorry about that. The technology...
The attraction actually worked just like Alien Encounter, just it had a few changes. The intro movie, of course, now with Captain Gantu. Sir was now Sergeant 90210. They basically had the same robot, they just put him in a fat suit, made him look like a police officer. There's some jokes in there about donuts. The alien was replaced with 626, aka Stitch. Actually, I don't think anyone really notices that. I know it's called Stitch's Great Escape, but this is supposed to be like his first escape before the movie, so kind of like a prequel thing. So he's not Stitch. He's 626. A lot of people don't notice that. Anyways, what did they keep that was not changed? The chairs with the harnesses. Still uncomfortable as ever. I guess there used to be padding on the harnesses, and then they took the padding off. I don't know why. Skippy was still there as his own counterpart, as his own self, and then his counterpart that was supposed to be Chard, he was still there, but he was made as his own kind of alien that likes to steal donuts, as I say. Donut jokes. Police and donut jokes. Okay, yeah. Because I guess that's funny. Anyways. Excess logo and props are actually still around. I think they're still around today if you ever do get to go on Stitch's Great Escape while it is still operational. We'll get to that in a minute. The ending, of course, changes because Stitch doesn't die. The alien dies in Alien Encounter, but Stitch is still alive. Actually, he escapes to Orlando, to Magic Kingdom, to Cinderella's castle, where he bothers the hell out of her. Yeah, poor Cinderella. Like, even Cinderella doesn't like this ride. Yeah, not many people really like Stitch's Great Escape. There's not really much I could say for Stitch's Great Escape other than the changes that happened and what stayed. All I can say is I remember being 12 and going with family and friends to Disney. I mean, I've had like a bunch of Disney vacations with my family growing up, but this one particular vacation did not go the way I wanted it to go. Stitch actually just opened when we went, and I remember wanting to go on Stitch's Great Escape so bad. I was 12, okay? And I thought it would be fun because I really love Lilo and Stitch. My brother enjoyed the movie. We were with our friends from school and their parents. They enjoyed the movie. You know, we all thought Stitch was great. We all love Lilo. We all love Nani and David and Pleakley and Jumba and everybody. Who the heck likes Gantu? I have no clue who, but we didn't like him. But we did love the movie, and we did love everything that it was. So when I said let's go on Stitch's Great Escape, everyone was like, oh, okay. And the parents were like, oh, the kids want to go on the Stitch ride. It's okay because it's Stitch. Not knowing anything about its predecessor. Not knowing anything about Alien Encounter that came before it. Let's go on Stitch's Great Escape. Okay. The whole ride obviously is different. You know, Stitch isn't trying to kill you. He's just harassing you and burping in your face and spitting on you and everything. It's gone from scary to gross, unless you're like younger than 12, or if you do get scared that easy at 12. It's not that scary. It's more gross. I remember being 12 and not being scared, but I do remember being grossed out. Actually, I also remember Stitch burping in my face from a chili dog, and that smell has stayed in my nose that entire vacation. I was so unhappy. And yeah, and I'm not the only one. Thousands of people, countless lists of worst attraction ever. Stitch's Great Escape has managed to land that #1 spot every friggin' time. I mean, don't get me wrong. Alien Encounter, while it may not be an attraction for me, I mean, it was made for teenagers, and teenagers seem to enjoy it. And some parents itself even enjoyed it. Now, parents of younger kids probably didn't. But, my God, Stitch's Great Escape, it was like you had a ride, you received some complaints, but was really good. But then it was like a lazy rehash. The whole thing was still Alien, but with Stitch. And he wasn't killing you. He was burping and spitting and fighting and jumping on you and harassing you and annoying the crap out of you. You know, to be funny for kids. It's a Disney, and it just wasn't working. I remember this ride. I remember this ride perfectly. If you ask me about Alien Encounter, I only know what I've researched. Ask me about Stitch's Great Escape. I went on it twice. I went on when it first opened. I was 12 years old. Second time was when I was dating John. I mean, now we're like full-fledged relationship, but I'm talking about it was our second date. And he took me on Stitch's Great Escape because he's a really big Stitch fan. And we both worked in Tomorrowland. And of course, if you work in Tomorrowland, you're obviously like a really big like Stitch fan and everything. And you had to work the gift shops for that ride. For any ride in Tomorrowland, really. But for Stitch's Great Escape, you had to work in the gift shop. We called it the Stitch Store. Stitch Store. Yeah. Originally, Merchants of Venus. And the thing that I remember working there was unhappy parents and crying children. Oh, and that lovely burp smell that comes out every time they open the doors. So I was greeted by that constant reminder of my 12-year-old mistake of going on Stitch's Great Escape. The only thing I could say about this attraction is me complaining about it. And if you're like me, I mean, I know that there are people out there that love this ride, this attraction, the Stitch one. I know that there's people out there. I've seen you guys on Facebook and forums and all that. And if you like this, that's great. If you don't, I gotcha on that one. And to me, it's just sad. Because I love Stitch. There's nothing against Stitch. I have nothing against him. When he's 626, when he's his crazy self, when him and Lilo are going around Hawaii finding his cousins. Because I watched the TV show. I've watched the movies. We have the hugest Stitch plush, like, sitting, like, right next to me. We love Lilo and Stitch. We love Stitch. But this attraction was not Stitch. It was everything disgusting and gross. Like I said, at the end of the day, it was Alien Encounter. It was a lazy rehash of Alien Encounter. Instead of scaring kids, it annoyed kids. Actually, instead of like scaring teenagers for fun, it annoyed teenagers. It scared the heck out of little kids. Little kids are like, why are Stitch being so mean? They're crying and everything. I remember giving them stickers. Countless of kids were crying, and I just felt so bad. Just kept giving them like all the Mickey stickers I could. Because I was like, I'm sorry. That was the ride. I mean, I just worked in merchandise. I can't go in and change the ride. But so the only thing I could do was just say that I'm sorry that you experienced it, and just know that when I was your age kid, I experienced that ride and I had a very similar reaction. I 100% understand. Actually, Stitch is kind of coming to an end, which is why I wanted to bring this video up. So, back in one of my vlogs, did change to a meet and greet over the summer of 2017. Ironically named Stitch's Alien Encounter as a meet and greet. This is kind of awkward to talk about, because there's no true yes or no to what's going to happen to Stitch. On December 23rd, 2017 to January 6th of 2018, Stitch will be running from 10 to 6 for 2 weeks only. There's a possibility that January 6, 2018 will be Stitch's last escape. There are rumors of it closing down on the 6th. That's all we know. That is literally all we know. People are thinking that this is going to be the last day. This is the last hurrah. Disney is closing Stitch in 2018, and we've already experienced enough closures of 2017. Ironically, it was the Great Movie Ride that closed before Stitch, which I'm still like, why? I don't know. Bringing up. Anyways, so I don't want to say January 6th is going to be its last day, but there's that possibility that it is. So I'm kind of sad. Not really. Well, I didn't like the ride. I am actually kind of sad. Seeing his face on the sign and everything was kind of nice, because it's Stitch, and you know, while the memories are not like great, they're still memories. Well, me being 12 wasn't exactly a great memory. I do remember me and John going on our second date to Stitch's Great Escape, and I remember screaming a lot and laughing a lot, mainly because I was with John and he didn't know the history of me and the ride. He was just like, let's go. Actually, I think we were like the only two on the ride. Yeah. And that was Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. Did you enjoy the show? Did you enjoy Stitch's Great Escape? Which one did you prefer, actually? Oh, and you have any suggestions of abandoned Disney places, Disney facts, or anything at all to talk about Disney history, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Seriously, I love researching like new things, even things that I like already know. Like, this video was like a ton of fun to make. I'm serious. I am having so much fun talking about Disney history. And so if you have a suggestion that, you know, maybe I've overlooked, definitely comment in the comment section, because I want to hear what you have to say. I definitely want to hear your opinion, whether you like the ride, whether you hate the ride. Do you remember it? Have you known about this before? Have you not? I want to hear it all. So my name is Gina. I'm not your average Disney nerd. This has been Let's Talk Disney History, and I hope you all have a magical day. Don't let Stitch slobber on you.